Hey guys, Jesse from Fulla Strength and Conditioning here, bringing you episode 3 of the From Average to Awesome podcast. So, very simply, we take you from average to awesome. So, it's getting you that next level in your journey, whether it be to decrease body fat, improve your fitness, or increase your overall strength levels. So, episode 3, hoping to discuss the topic of diet. So I use the word diet in quotation marks here. So that word gets thrown around a lot in everyone's days and lives. There's so many experts and gurus. But the one thing that I want to try and, the message I want to try and get across to you is that when you're trying to change from where you currently are to maybe better habits, whether it be eating, training, lifestyle, whatever it is, it actually needs to be a lifestyle change. You're going to find it very difficult if you just change to a diet. And once again, I use that in quotation marks. So for me, the word diet, it implies that there's a specific end date. So when people say I'm going on a diet, when I hear that, straight away I think that they have an end date. So it's not to say that that is a bad thing, but a lot of the time what I've heard and what I've seen is that people do it for a period of time. So let's just say it could be either 8 weeks or 12 weeks. They say I'm going on an 8-week diet. And basically they get given a meal plan for that period of time, and then that's it. So regardless of whether that person hits their goals or not, basically they're just being told what to do. So they've been basically hand-fed a list of foods to eat for that period of time. Typically, I found there's not really a whole lot of education when it comes to actually diet. Essentially, someone gets passed a piece of paper and then it's just do this, follow this for a period of 8 weeks or whatever the time frame might be. The problem that I see with that approach to get or decreasing body fat or losing weight, there's no education. It won't teach you anything. It'll teach you to read a piece of paper and to follow instructions. Yes, absolutely. But what are you going to do at the end of that 8-week mark? Yeah, you might have lost 5 kilos. You might feel great. Your energy levels are through the roof. You look amazing. You look better naked. But it doesn't actually teach you anything. It means you can follow instructions, which is absolutely, it's part of the puzzle to achieve goals in fitness and in life. But what do you know more about food than when you originally started? Generally, it's not a whole lot. So yes, you eat at X, Y, and Z times, and you eat X, Y, and Z portion sizes, but you're not really being told the why. You're just being told, this is what I want you to eat, and just do it, basically. So I want to try and educate you for long-term results. Something that's not going to last 8 weeks, but something that's going to last maybe 8 years or for the rest of your life. Okay? There's a lot of strategies and there's a lot of ways you can go about doing that. And I want to start to give you the tools so you can take control of your life and get to that next level. Or even if it's just taking that first step from going from where you currently are to better. So that's generally the approach I utilize. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better than you were yesterday. So at Fulla Strength and Conditioning, when we talk about compliance and following through on actions, I would much prefer someone to improve a 1% each and every day rather than a 20 to 50% improvement for 1 week. The reason for that being, every small win adds up and you build momentum and you build confidence each and every week. Okay, so you can see results and you can see things happening and changing in a positive manner each day and each week rather than having a massive change 1 week and then maybe no change the next week. Okay, so I'm going to just run through some simple guidelines and principles that you can start to use in your quote-unquote diet. All right. So first of all, I just want to touch on how many meals a day to have. This is a very, very individual answer. So it's not a matter of how many times you want to eat per day, it's how many you can actually get in. So if, let's just say we have an office worker working from 9 to 5, there's no point me telling them to eat 6 meals a day if they can only realistically eat 3 or 4. So your first task that I'd like you to do is take a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to just think about how many times a day you can actually sit down for a meal. So how many you can, not how many you want to. It might be 3, it might be 4, it may even be 5. So I'm talking meals, okay? You can absolutely write down snacks as well if you like. The bigger or the more information we have, the better equipped you'll be to achieve your results. So let's just write down how many meals a day that you can have and potential snacks as well. So once we've identified that, we need to identify the types of foods and macronutrients, or macros for short, that we need to have in each meal. So with food, there are 3 macronutrients. So these are the big nutrients the body needs on a daily basis to function and do daily tasks. So the 3 different macros we have: carbohydrates, or carbs for short, proteins, and fats. So in Western society and diets, especially in, I'll just use Australia as obviously that's where I live, and also America is their sort of our big brother. We are eating a lot of processed foods and a lot of carbohydrates in particular. So there was a study done, I was reading this through my Precision Nutrition Level 1 certification, that there was basically people were asked to do a questionnaire on their daily food intake and what they perceived, what they thought they were eating from each of the food groups. And a couple of things that were highlighted were that people, they didn't tick, or they thought they weren't eating as many carbohydrates as they actually were, so they're eating more carbs than they thought. They were under eating protein. They were under eating vegetables and fruits as well. So basically out of that, they were eating too many carbohydrates, not enough protein, not enough greens, vegetables, and fruits as well. So that's the main thing. So with our nutrition guidelines that we utilize, basically I try to get people to build their plate. So essentially I want to try and get all 3 macros, so proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, into each meal. So that's for breakfast, lunch, dinner, meals 2 and 4, whatever they might be. I want to try and get all of those nutrients in each meal. So let's take breakfast for example. If we want to get carbohydrates, let's say, for example, a really easy one is an omelette. An omelette will contain vegetables, so multiple colors, different sauces, so it might be tomatoes, spinach, mushrooms, capsicum, things like that. That's your carbohydrates. Those are vegetables and they're classed as carbohydrates. Then we look at the proteins. Eggs are a fantastic source of protein. So on average, a large egg will contain about 6 grams of protein. So if we have 3 to 5 eggs, there's our protein source in there. Then we look at the fats. Some easy ways we can incorporate fats into that omelette. We can use avocado, we can use coconut oil in the cooking, or olive oil as well, to get those healthy fats into that meal. So that way there, we've built our meal to contain the 3 macronutrients, and they're what are called nutrient-dense foods. So 2 things I'd like you to take away from today, or the 2 main sort of words. We have calorie density and we have nutrient density. In today's society, we're eating far too many calorie-dense foods and not enough nutrient-dense foods. So that basically means we're eating foods that provide us with a lot of energy or a high amount of calories, but not a whole lot of nutrients in them. So if you think of things, fast foods, chocolates, biscuits, cakes, French fries, things like that, pizza, all of those contain a lot of fat, and they have a high calorie count of each different food, if you will. So pizza's quite high in calories, things like that. On the other side, saying the density, they don't contain a lot of nutrients for the body. So if you think of the three macros we've just discussed, carbohydrates, fats, and protein, do we have a good amount of each in those meals? Probably not. So it's not going to provide us with the most amount of macros and also micronutrients. So that's the vitamins and minerals. We don't get as many of those in those calorie dense foods. Okay, so just recapping the two densities, we want to incorporate as many nutrient dense foods as we can without the calorie density. That is, if your goal is to lose body fat or lose body weight. Okay, we want lots of nutrients, but we don't necessarily want all the calories that go with them. Okay, so that's what we call bang for your buck. You're eating good foods, you're getting a lot of return for it, getting a lot of nutrients and things that are going to support your bodily functions and maintain lean muscle mass. Okay, so it's not a diet, guys. If you want to make long lasting change, it needs to be a lifestyle. You need to educate yourself on food, especially nutrition. That is the one area that you can make or break your goals. If you don't make any effort to research and educate yourself on food, what is in the food you're eating, then you're going to be fighting an uphill battle to decrease body fat, increase performance, speed up recovery, and also to increase lean muscle mass. Okay, so these are all very important for vitality of life and also to improve your metabolism, especially as you age. There's a direct correlation between lean muscle mass decreasing as you age and therefore your metabolism slowing down. Okay, so it's important that you understand foods, what they do, and what types you need for your body. It sounds very cliche, I know, it's a lifestyle change, but the fact of the matter is it doesn't need to be fancy to be effective. You just need to start to make a list of things that you need to change and then just start to tick the boxes one at a time. So if you're sort of new to this fitness thing or decreasing body fat thing, you want to change your body shape and how you look and how you feel, then this next part will be sort of your action plan. So initially you need to set some goals. So what do you want? What is it specifically you want? I want you to be as detailed as you can in what you want. Then I'd like you to define when you would like to achieve this goal by. And the third question I'd like you to ask yourself is, why is it important for you to achieve this goal? Think about it long and hard. Why do you really want to achieve your goal? Okay, that's a big one. If you can figure out your why, your actions and your goals will have a much larger impact and they'll be much more effective for you. Once you've established some goals, it's important to have an action plan. So what will you need to do to get from A to B? It's all part of changing lifestyle. So if it means that you need to change certain behaviors, if you need to go to bed earlier so you can wake up with more energy to exercise, that might be one of your action plan steps. Okay, it might write it down. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier than what you're currently doing. If it's to just start exercising, believe it or not, a lot of people have this misconception that they need to get fit before they go to the gym. That moniker couldn't be any further from the truth. The whole reason that gyms exist is for that purpose, is so that you can actually increase your fitness levels, increase your strength, decrease body fat, use it as a stress outlet. So if you've been sitting on the fence and thinking, oh, I'm not fit enough to go to the gym, you need to have a look and just suck it up and go to the gym. Sometimes you just need to do what you need to do. Nothing changes unless you take actions. So we've created our goals, we've discussed why we want to achieve them. then our action steps of behaviors. Then it's about obviously implementing that nutrition side of things as well. And it all goes hand in hand, guys. If you struggle, if you lack energy, eating more nutrient dense foods will provide you with more energy. You won't feel as sluggish. You won't have those big rises and falls of your sugar levels. So you won't have those big energy rushes and then you'll fade away. You'll stay more energy productive through the day. Okay, you won't have those big peaks and troughs. Once we've got the nutrition, then it comes down to compliance and consistency. So is this something you can do on a regular basis and repeat it? You need to make it part of your habits and part of your weekly routine. And I'm going to give you a big takeaway point, guys, a big secret. You need to make time for this. These steps that I've gone through, they're not easy, but they are simple. We've just discussed 3 to 5 different action items. They are simple, one at a time, but they are not easy. So you will need to dedicate a bit of time to actually ticking those boxes off and getting those tasks completed. Okay? Set yourself some lofty goals, something that's going to challenge you and spark you into action, something that's going to get you out of bed in the morning, excited to tackle the day. All right? That's it for today, guys. Episode 3, it is not a diet, it is a lifestyle change that you need to make. All right? We would love your feedback. So if you've listened to episodes 1 and 2 already, if you have any thoughts on them, things we could change, things we can improve, or what you liked, we'd love to hear from you. So head over to our Facebook page, give us some feedback, and if you haven't already, make sure you like that page and also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We've got over 250 videos on there, plenty of information that you can benefit from and get you from average to awesome. Okay? That's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for our next podcast from Fulla Strength and Conditioning. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.